Right, all right. Sorry, guys, still no sign of Kalvin Phillips, but Tom is keeping everybody updated. I think Tom Driscoll, our producer. I'm not going to speak much on this mic because I'm speaking to everybody.
Okay, good afternoon everybody and welcome to this media conference with Kalvin Phillips. As ever, if you can use the microphone provided and make sure it's switched on and state your name and the media outlet you work for. When we're ready, we'll start with Rob Dorset from Sky Sports News.
Hi Kalvin, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you, mate. You've played in the Euros final against Italy, which was a huge match. How does a World Cup...
I got the chance to be involved in the squad and hopefully make an appearance against France. You
didn't believe you'd be fit for the tournament, or?
No, I think it was just obviously, we've been injured so much over the past year or so, and then obviously having the shoulder injury just before. Obviously, deep down, there was always a chance that I wasn't going to be involved, and I kind of just settled with that once I had the operation. I just thought, if anything, I'm just going to work as hard as possible to get back fit for after the World Cup, and luckily I was involved and I'm fit enough now. So,
how has your World Cup experience been so far, with all of that in mind? Because obviously you were such a key part of England's run all the way to the final of the Euros. You never missed a minute. But because of this shoulder injury, you've had to take a bit of a bit part in this one. You haven't started any of the matches. Does that make it a very different experience from your perspective?
Not really. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still, having loads of fun. Obviously, I'm not playing as much, which, it can be frustrating. But when you look at the players that are playing in front of me and how well they're playing, then I can't really argue. I've just got to keep on working hard and make sure I get fitter and fitter throughout, the weeks I've been training. And, when I come on, try and make that impact, or try and, be as solid as I possibly can to, help the team.
Declan Rice missed training yesterday. If he's not fit and available, you ready to go?
Yeah, but I believe Deck is fit anyway. He was back in training today, and he felt fine. So if all goes wrong and Deck won't be fit, then obviously I'd do my best to try and complete the 90 minutes. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hiya.
Hi.
Ashley Perks, BBC News. Raheem Sterling comes back tomorrow. How much of a lift will that be for you guys?
Yeah, massive lift. Raheem's an amazing player, and obviously I had to fly home to deal with what's gone on, and we're just happy that everything's all right, and he can rejoin us and play a big part in the next game, which we're really looking forward to.
It's his birthday today. Have any of you sent messages? Have you spoken to him? How is he?
It's Razzy's birthday today.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So take it you haven't messaged him.
No, I haven't messaged him yet, but I'll make sure that I go out my way to message him.
Obviously, you say Declan's trained today.
Mm-hmm.
From a personal point of view, you're obviously fighting for that position. How does it sit with you to be a kind of player that can just come on at the end of games and get the minutes under your belt? Are you finding that's okay for you, or is there a part of you that's a bit like, I played such a bigger part than this in the Euros?
No, it's not the fact that I played so much in the Euros. It's more of the fact that I want to play as many minutes as possible. So, regardless whether I'm playing or Deck's playing, we're both really good friends, and we both know that it's whatever we can do for the team, then we'll do it. And if one player's not able to do that, then obviously the other player will do their best to do so. So, yeah, regards to obviously playing in the Euros, it's a little bit frustrating knowing that I've not played as many minutes, but I just remind myself that I have come very far to be in this position after getting the operation, and I am still trying to build up my fitness even now. And obviously, when given a chance, hopefully I can build on that as well.
And France, world champions in a quarter-final of a World Cup. You must be chomping at the bit to get on that pitch.
Yeah, obviously it's a massive game, very exciting game, and it's going to be a very tough game as well. Every player in these situations want to be on the pitch and playing, and if you're not, you just try and do your best to support the boys, and when you are eventually involved, then hopefully you can play well. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the atmosphere and then the occasion as well.
Hi, Kalvin. You're lucky enough to play with some of the best players of the new generation, both in your club and your country, and you're playing against one tomorrow as well. So my question is, if you had to start one, bench one, and sell one out of Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, and Kylian Mbappe, what do you do?
What did you say? Start one, bench one, and sell one?
Yeah.
I'd start... Oh my God. I'm going to have to say I'd start Jude. Love Erling. But I reckon if he came off the bench, then he'd still get an hat-trick anyway. And then sell Mbappe because he'd probably get the most money, so...
Good answer, thanks.
Kalvin, really special moments full-time at the Al Bayt Stadium, Sweet Caroline being sung as it was again in the Women's Euros in the summer. It's a bit of home advantage. 2 games now, it's starting to feel pretty familiar to the team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's obviously the support through the group stage has been amazing, but especially the Wales game and the Senegal game has been, it's been massive for us. And obviously I don't want to sound a bit too cliche, but it's been like the 12th man pushing us on, and they've been amazing. Obviously seeing all the reactions to the fans back home as well has really given us a lift. So, hopefully we can keep making them happy and keep helping them party back home and carry on in this tournament. So.
Playing in the back 4 really well at the moment, but back 3 during the Euros really helped keep the ball at some of the tougher opposition. Yes, the word more pragmatic, but against big teams when it mattered, that helped. Because you were so consistent in that, would you be very comfortable, are the team quite comfortably switching between different formations at the moment?
Yeah, I think for me, when I played at Leeds, I played under a manager that changed formation every 15 minutes. So, I was quite used to changing formation. Obviously, I played in that deeper number 4 role, but, I did change positions quite a lot. I played centre half and stuff like that. So, yeah, I feel like obviously if that happened during a game or if we needed to change formation, I'd be very comfortable doing it. So.
And you mentioned a certain Marcelo Bielsa there, who has also been briefing other teams in the build-up to this tournament. He gets all the respect in the world. Got you all promoted at Leeds, but hasn't won a major tournament. Gareth Southgate's got England all the way to the semi-finals of a World Cup and the finals of a Euros, and people don't think he can make the big decisions. What's your interpretation of that from the mind of Marcelo Bielsa to Gareth Southgate? How do they compare, or what similarities do they have?
They're obviously very different, but I think people underestimate how good a manager Gareth Southgate is. He's for the last 3 years I've been with England. He's been amazing. He's done really well. Obviously, this summer we didn't have great results, but you could put that down to many different reasons. But I think what he's done with this team and how he's nurtured the team into, winning games and being one of the best countries in the world at playing football. A lot of people don't give him credit for that, and you can't forget that he's got very tough decisions to make as well, where if players not, obviously unbelievable players that maybe be on the bench and not play, and then leaving them out as well. So it's very, obviously I understand that it's a very hard position that Gareth's in, but I think he's been unbelievable since I've been with England, and the way he treats us all. He's an unbelievable manager, and obviously he's got great coaching staff around him as well, which helps us a lot.
Kyle Walker, how fast is he? Is that pace all back?
Yeah, Kyle Walker's the quickest player I've ever seen play football, so nice. A lot of people obviously ask that question, how fast is he, but you can't really put it into words how quick he is. You just gotta see him out on the training pitch or 1v1 against a really quick player as well, which we'll see in a few days.
And there was a lot of talk about question marks over Harry Maguire, but those question marks really about the partnership he had with with John, and he's had an excellent tournament as well. How much of that had you seen at club level that you're unsurprised about now?
Who, John?
Yeah.
No, I believe that John's one of the best centre-half in the world right now. I'm not just saying it because he's at England and because, I'm good friends with him or he plays for Man City. I genuinely believe that, he's one of the best centre-halves in the game at this moment in time. And I think, the way he plays at City, he's brought into this England team and he just seems so comfortable doing that. And, he's very composed on the ball, obviously defends really well, and, going forward is probably one of the best centre-halves you can have distributing the ball. So for me, I believe Johnny's one of the best centre-halves in the world right now, and his partnership with Harry is an amazing partnership as well. They understand each other so well, and they obviously feed off each other, help each other out in certain situations, and I think as of now it's been probably the best centre-half partnership in the World Cup. So
you've got the biggest smile on your face with just the mention that you could play in this. It seems like it's more a case of less trepidation that this could be the final that's come early and more counting the sleeps to the moment.
No, obviously we're all very excited. We know it's going to be a massive game, and I think every one of us, is excited to just get out there and try and do his best for the country and make the country proud and make ourselves proud as well. So, it's a game that we're all looking forward to, and obviously we look at each game one at a time. So, it's France in a few days, and then hopefully after that we'll play whoever's next.
Suhan Wang from Tencent. Hi, Kalvin.
Hi.
We've already seen 2 penalty shootouts in this tournament. How's the team feeling about maybe having a penalty shootout in the France game? And have players talked about who's up to take a pen?
I think over the tournament we've practiced quite a lot of the penalties in real situations. We've obviously lined up as 2 teams and took penalties as if it was going to happen tomorrow. So I think we're very confident in ourselves if it did go to a penalty shootout. We're very confident in ourselves to make that difference to obviously win the game. So, and we've got amazing penalty takers anyway. So, hopefully it don't go to that. But if it does, we're very confident.
So, are you up to take a pen?
Am I? I think to be honest, I'm very easy. I'm kind of an easy person. If Gareth said to me the first penalty take, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. If he said to me, you're not taking a penalty, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. So, if he tells me to take a penalty, I'll take a penalty. If he doesn't, then, good luck to the rest of the lads that are.
And Kyle Walker talked about Dave the cat yesterday, and you were pictured with Dave and John together. So is he like a Yorkshire player's cat from Man City?
I think he's his little mascot now. He's been walking around with an England shirt on for the last few days. But yeah, we kind of took him under his wing when we first got there, and we were sat in the corner, and he just strolled over and started meowing at us. So we started feeding him and trying to make him a little bit bigger. And he's still getting fed, and he's still doing well. So.
Hi, Kalvin. David from Radio France International. Yesterday there were a lot of questions related to Kyle Walker and Kylian Mbappe. Some French fans reacted by saying that Mbappe has just to attack Maguire if he wants to score goals. Are you still surprised by the level of mockeries that target Maguire? And of course, Maguire is a big boy and a great professional, but did you guys at some point to protect and support him from all these attacks?
No, 100%. I know Harry Maguire's not played as much football as what he probably would have liked to this season, and he does get a little stick, which I think is very undeserved. I think he's a top professional and a great footballer, and all you have to do is watch, England in major tournaments, and when he plays for Manchester United, I think. He's one of the best defenders, and I think for England he's been, one of the top defenders for a long, long time, and especially in tournament level, he's always been that player that, when we've got set pieces or, when we need to block or when anybody needs to make a challenge, he's always the first one to do it, and he's always the first one to get his head to the ball. Obviously, he's scored some very important goals as well, and I think a lot of people kind of, because he's been obviously mocked quite a lot the past few years, I think he's just the first one to go to. If anything bad happened in the England team, he'd be the first one to be for anything to be said about. So yeah, it's very undeserved, and like I said, I think if you look at the major tournaments he's played in and how well he's done, then you can't really mock him because he's been unbelievable. So.
Hi Calvin, Joe from Sky News. Obviously it's been quite a tough few months for you since the move to Manchester City because of the injury and not starting in this tournament as you would have hoped. How have you kept positive mentally through this period?
Just with the lads around me, to be honest. Obviously I've seen my family as well, which has been a big boost, but I think the lads that I've been training with every day that also haven't played as much as what they'd liked and haven't started, they've kept me going through it, and there's been a couple of days where I've obviously gone into training feeling down because I felt like I could have played, or I wanted to be on the pitch and it didn't quite happen. They've always had the arm around me and helped me a little bit, and same with my family as well. I think the time that I spent with my family has just been quality time to just take your mind off stuff like this and help you just reset, and when you get back into camp obviously I've been a lot happier. So I think the lads have been great with me, and obviously you do get frustrated sometimes, but you got to look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is how the team progress and how you can play that little role in the team that will help them every single day, and I'm prepared to do that. So
Hi, I'm Edson Viana from TV Globo Brazil. Good afternoon. Rabiot said yesterday that this is a match that could be decided in the midfield because of the characteristics of the players. Do you agree with that? What do you think that could decide this match?
Obviously, I think any game really is decided by the middle of the park and who's playing in the middle, but it's still 11 England players against 11 France players, so regardless of whether one midfielder is on top of the other, we've still got a lot more other players that can make a difference. So we know it's going to be an amazing game. It's going to be a very tough game, and like I said before, we are looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough challenge, but I think everyone in this England camp's up for it and ready to play if called upon.
And when there's a match with a player like Messi, Mbappe, Harry Kane, Neymar, these huge guys, how does that affect the defense of the other team, the motivation to face a guy like that? Of course, there's 11 French guys, as you said, but with a guys with this size, how does that affect the team? Thank you.
To be honest, it hasn't really affected us that much. Obviously, we know that Mbappe is, a good player, and he's been one of the top players for the last few years, and he's probably going to be, one of the best players in the world. But we just focus on what we've got to do, and how we can stop not just Mbappe, but Giroud, Griezmann, everybody from their team, and that's the tactics we've been working on, is not just to stop Mbappe, but to stop the full team. And if there's anyone that I'd like to put up against Mbappe to stop him, it's Kyle Walker, because I believe that he's an unbelievable defender, and probably the only one that's quicker than him as well. So obviously we're looking forward to the game, and it'll be a tough match.
Hi, Calvin. Welcome to the French TV. Sorry for my accent, French accent.
No worries.
Just a question about the midfield too. We all speak about Walker and Mbappe, but it will be a big battle on the midfield against French team. What could be for you the best midfield of the England team to try to beat the French team?
That's an hard question, to be honest. I think, the lads that have been playing, regularly throughout the group stage, I think Deck, John Henderson and Jude Bellingham have done unbelievably well. But But you never know. I think they're the three right now that obviously I choose to play in that game. Hey, Ramas. I choose to play in that game just because they've done so well so far, and we've had really good results since they've been in the team. So, but I think anybody who gets called upon, whether it's me, whether it's Mason, whether it's anybody else, Conor Gallagher, I think we'd be ready for the challenge, and be ready to do everything to make the team be successful.
Hi, Kalvin. Hi, Kalvin. Oliver Kay from The Athletic. When you look at the teams who've won recent tournaments, Spain, Germany, Portugal, France, Italy, and the way they've gone about it, are there things you can learn from those teams, tactically, psychologically, so on? And have you and the staff spoken about that and about France in 2018 in particular?
We just obviously spoke about every team that's won a major tournament in the last 10 or so years, how good their defensive record's been and how clinical has been at the other end of the pitch. And I think we went through so many different teams, even club teams as well, and the average goals are conceded throughout a tournament or throughout a season, and we want to try and better that, and if we can get along them lines and along that along them numbers, then there's no reason why we can't go all the way and eventually win the World Cup. And we've spoke about it as a team, and we all know that conceding goals isn't what we want to do, and I think so far we've done it we've kept goals out very well, kept a lot of clean sheets, and scoring goals as well. With the players that we've got, we've got unbelievable talent and players that can score goals in any moment. So we're very confident in ourselves.
When you say you've gone through that, was that some kind of presentation or?
Yeah, it was like a meeting. It was like a 25-30 minute meeting that we went through, and it was just about our identity, how we wanted to play, and how we wanted to progress in the tournament. And we've hit them marks, and we're doing really well at the moment, and hopefully we can keep it going.
And on a different note, it has emerged over the past 24 hours that a migrant worker died at one of the other team camps, while the competition has been going on. I just wondered, does that news filter through to the players? Is it something you'd heard about? And what's the reaction when you hear about something like that, and the backdrop of questions about workers' rights and the deaths of the number of workers involved in World Cup related projects? Yeah,
obviously it's very sad news. It's not something that anybody wants to hear, and I've not heard anything about it until now. But yeah, obviously there's not much I can say on it because I don't really know too much about it. But we are very sorry for the loss, and obviously as a team we send our condolences to whoever's been affected.
Hi Calvin, Mark Manbrines from PA. Can I just back to Raheem quickly if I could? Given what happened back home, is that heightened concerns for you and other players in the squad?
Yeah, I think once one player goes through it, then there's always that thought in your back of the mind that it might happen to you or it could happen to somebody else, and it's not a really nice feeling. Obviously, when you're so far away from home and you've got family at home and stuff like that, it's not a great feeling, and not really much we can do about it. But I think obviously Raheem's feels good enough now to join back with us, and we're very happy about that, and just happy that his family are okay, and he's all right to come back and join us.
Have there been conversations with the FA about security measures and things like that?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, we have two more left in this live section. Jerry and then Jeremy over here.
Thanks, Andy. Hi, Kelvin. Just talking about the fans, Marcus Rashford has, in the Lions' Den, described them as they could be difference makers in tight games, particularly at this key part of the tournament. What experience have you had of that kind of thing, the lift of the fans? And also, the organising committee in the last few days has lifted some visa restrictions for the Gulf area so that people can come out and making it easier for people to get tickets and come out. That obviously applies to a lot of expats in the area. I was wondering if you could give them a message, you know, come on out here, support England in the big game.
No, obviously, if you are one of them people that are wanting tickets to come see England, then, you know, please do so, because you will make the difference. You will be, you know, one of the many that will eventually make the difference and hopefully be a massive part in history for us. And you know, I urge you to come out and support us, because, you know, over the last few games, while obviously being on the sideline and experiencing the atmosphere and how happy it's made the England fans, and obviously seeing all the videos back home as well, it's an amazing feeling, and, you know, a pleasure to be representing this country at a World Cup. So, you know, if you do get the chance to get a ticket to a game, then I'd definitely make it the first on your bucket list. So,
thanks, Jerry. And Jeremy?
Thanks, Jeremy Armstrong from the Daily Mirror. Literally just before we came in, there was an image of Robbie Williams in the camp last night. So it's just I have a very brief question about, you know, what he did, how you engage with him, if you got to see him, what your thoughts were on that, and on a broader sweep, kind of how you've switched off, if you like, have you FaceTimed home, you know, how you kind of you manage to keep in touch with people back home, whether by FaceTime or just getting the chance to relax, I suppose, how you managed to do that, apart from Mr. Williams.
Yeah, Robbie was here with us last night. He was just by the pool. He sang us a few songs, and, you know, it was a really good night. Had a chance to obviously chat to him, and he's obviously an unbelievably talented person, but a really nice person as well, and got along with everyone. So, you know, it was a pleasure to have him. And obviously, you know, knowing how big he is in the world and how well he's doing, it's obviously an honour, obviously, to have met him and spoke to him as well. And regarding your question of cooling down and, you know, taking your mind off things, most of my family have actually travelled to Qatar. Well, not most of them, but a good number of them. So whenever I've had chance, I've always gone to go see him and spend time with them. And obviously, with my other family at home, I've FaceTimed them. Obviously, it was my birthday last week, so I got a lot of messages and phone calls from family, which is obviously a nice thing as well. So yeah, just spend as much time as possible with my family and try to relax that way, and if not, then spend time with the lads and done it that way. So yeah, it's been obviously a good few weeks, and it's been quite long, but, you know, I'm hoping that it'll go on for another couple of weeks as well. So
thanks, everyone. That ends the live section. We'll now move on to a very short section of about 3 or 4 questions embargoed until 10:30 p.m. UK time tonight.